Chapter 22. And David spake unto the Lord the words of this song in the day that the Lord had delivered him out of the hand of all his enemies, and out of the hand of Saul. And he said, The Lord is my rock, and my fortress, and my deliverer. The God of my rock, in him will I trust. He is my shield, and the horn of my salvation. My high tower and my refuge, my Savior, thou savest me from violence. I will call on the Lord, who is worthy to be praised. So shall I be saved from mine enemies. When the waves of death compassed me, the floods of ungodly men made me afraid. The sorrows of hell compassed me about, the snares of death prevented me. In my distress I called upon the Lord, and cried to my God, and he did hear my voice out of his temple, and my cry did enter into his ears. Then the earth shook and trembled, the foundations of heaven moved and shook, because he was wroth. There went up a smoke out of his nostrils, and fire out of his mouth devoured. Coals were kindled by it. He bowed the heavens also, and came down, and darkness was under his feet. And he rode upon a cherub, and did fly, and he was seen upon the wings of the wind. And he made darkness pavilions round about him, dark waters and thick clouds in the skies. Through the brightness before him were coals of fire kindled. The Lord thundered from heaven, and the Most High uttered his voice. And he sent out arrows, and scattered them, lightning, and discomforted them. And the channels of the sea appeared, the foundations of the world were discovered, at the rebuking of the Lord, at the blast of the breath of his nostrils. He said from above, he took me, he drew me out of many waters. He delivered me from my strong enemy, and from them that hated me, for they were too strong for me. They prevented me in the day of my calamity, but the Lord was my stay. He brought me forth also into a large place. He delivered me, because he delighted in me. The Lord rewarded me according to my righteousness, according to the cleanness of my hands hath he recompensed me. For I have kept the ways of the Lord, and have not wickedly departed from my God. For all his judgments were before me, and as for his statutes I did not depart from them. I was also upright before him, and I kept myself from mine iniquity. Therefore the Lord hath recompensed me according to my righteousness, according to my cleanness in his eyesight. With the merciful thou wilt shew thyself merciful, and with the upright man wilt shew thyself upright. With the pure joy thou wilt shew thyself pure, and with the froward thou wilt shew thyself unsavory. And the afflicted people thou wilt save, but thine eyes are upon the haughty, that thou mayest bring them down. For thou art my lamp, O Lord, and the Lord will lighten my darkness. For by thee I have run through a troop, by my God have I leaped over a wall. As for God, his way is perfect, the word of the Lord is tried, he is a buckler to all that trust in him. For who is God save the Lord, and who is a rock save our God? God is my strength and power, and he maketh my way perfect. He maketh my feet like hinds' feet, and setteth me upon my high places. He teacheth my hands to war, so that a bow of steel is broken by mine arms. Thou hast also given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Thou hast enlarged my steps under me, so that my feet did not slip. I have pursued mine enemies, and destroyed them, and turned not again until I had consumed them. And I have consumed them, and wounded them, that they could not arise. Yea, they are fallen under my feet. For thou hast girded me with strength to battle. Them that rose up against me hast thou subdued under me. Thou hast also given me the necks of mine enemies, that I might destroy them that hate me. They looked, but there was none to save, even unto the Lord, but he answered them not. Then did I beat them as small as the dust of the earth. I did stamp them as the mire of the street, and did spread them abroad. Thou also hast delivered me from the strivings of my people. Thou hast kept me to be head of the heathen, a people which I knew not should serve me. Strangers shall submit themselves unto me. As soon as they hear, they shall be obedient unto me. Strangers shall fade away, and they shall be afraid out of their close places. The Lord liveth, and blessed be my rock, and exalted be the God of the rock of my salvation. It is God that avengeth me, and that bringeth down the people under me, and that bringeth me forth from mine enemies. Thou also hast lifted me up on high above them that rose up against me. Thou hast delivered me from the violent man. Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and I will sing praises unto thy name. He is the tower of salvation for his king, and sheweth mercy to his anointed, unto David, and to his seed forevermore. This chapter is very much along the line of Psalm 18, also written by David, and we believe about the same time, sometime earlier in his life than the era that we were just dealing with about hanging the Gibeonites and going fighting the 4 sons of Goliath. It's that this was sometime earlier. And because there's no mention here about anything to do with Bathsheba or the sin that he committed, which basically saw to it that he would go through hell in order to emerge for a resurrection. This looks like he is basically in compliance with all of the ordinances, with all of the commandments of God, and not out of it, which he really was after Bathsheba. And he knew it. So that's about the largest part of this one. The amazing thing is that this carries on into the next chapter, to the first 7 verses in chapter 23. A lot of people don't quite understand how they got to be chapters and verses in the Bible. You haven't listened to the How We Got the Bible chapter that I created at the very beginning. But in the original script for the Bible, there were no chapters and verses. It was all written just like a novel. And in 1532 or 15 something was the first time that anybody decided that they would take what became known as the Bishop's Bible and divide it into chapters and verses to make it easier to find things, because up until that time all the books were different. Depending on who printed the book, different words were on different pages, and it was pretty hard to find stuff. Whereas if you go to chapter and verse, it doesn't make any difference what the page number is. The chapter and verse can be the same from book to book. And that's how it happened. I also get people who think God wrote this Bible, which he didn't. Didn't have the slightest thing to do with physically writing this. This did not come down from Moses. This did not come down from Abraham. This did not come down. There was parts that were written by Moses. There were parts that were written by the prophets. There were parts that were written by scribes who wrote at the request of the prophets. There were the apostles who wrote some. But if you really want to understand what it is, the Bible is 66 separate books that were put together as one book. And they cover a period of several thousand years and deal with all kinds of people and all kinds of situations. And the nice thing is, if we liken the scriptures to ourselves, in other words, if we look at the situation that people are in, and we see what their challenges are and how they respond to it, we can learn whether or not they did something really smart or they did something really dumb. And we can improve how we respond from their example, which is what they're trying to get us to do. That's what the purpose of the scriptures is.